Welcome back. Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, I'd like to apologize up front. I'm hoarse, I have strep throat, but I wanted to get this information out to y'all because I got excited about it. And as you can see, the videos will be about lube. And all these lubes in front of you, I use them. I currently use a lot of them, and they all work great, and especially for certain applications. This stuff right here, my good buddy Rough Rooster Knife Sharpening turned me on to this. This is some lube that you can only get from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and this is good stuff. It's very viscous, like watery kind. It gives you good action on your knives, but I primarily use this for coating my liners and stuff underneath G10 so they don't rust up. It works good for that as well. Then for my Chris Reeve knives, I use their fluorinated grease along with, this stuff's expensive for this little bitty old tube. I think it's like $15 or something. I don't know. It's 5 grams. And you can get this stuff off of Amazon. This is also fluorinated grease. And it works. It works fine, and you get a whole bunch of this for way underneath the price of that little tube. So, when grease is necessary, but I don't have too many knives that I find that grease works better, at least in my applications. And then until recently, this is my lube of choice for pretty much all my knives. Got the 85 weight nano oil. I use this mainly for heavier blades and for detent ball holes. I'll fill up the little detent ball hole with this, and I find it just lasts for a while and still, keeps smoothness pretty good. And then for all the pivots up until now, my favorite was 10 weight, 10 weight nano oil. And this is my old one that when they first came out. You can see they even got a different sticker now. But great stuff, great. And I've done a lot of thorough testing with this and long term and all, and it holds up really well. The other day I was on Instagram and I came across a new lube, and this is the company, Pivot Lube.com. You can pause and read that if you want. But what caught my eye is the nano lube is 8 cc's, and this stuff's like $18 before shipping, give or take. So you're looking at probably around 20-25 bucks for 8 cc's. And theirs is 10 cc's or 10 milliliters, and it's $10. So I figured I'd at least give it a shot, and if it was at least half as good as the nano lube, this would be a good option. It also, just like the nano lube, it comes with your needle applicator, so you can get into those pivots or hard to reach places. And as soon as I got it, I started putting it in the pivots. I took down a few knives, lubed them up, and I will say, initial smoothness blew my mind. Absolutely awesome. And one thing that I really liked about this, a lot of the lubes, they say, you don't need to disassemble the knife. You can just put a drop. Let me show you what I'm saying. You can just take your knife and put a drop of lube inside there in the pivot area and let it work itself down. And for the most part, you can do that. But I never really noticed, any great results whenever I did that. But I will say, I did that with this, the first knife. I didn't feel like taking it down. I just wanted to try it out really quick. And let's see, which knife was it? Yes, it was the Kaiser Feist. So all I did is took the needle applicator. I'm not going to really do it because I don't want to over lube it. Because all you do is put a drop of this stuff. And I put it down there and put a drop of lube, which I think I just did, on both sides. And then I worked the pivot back and forth. I did this number here, back and forth. And then I also put a drop on the detent ball hole. And wow, the smoothness, because this one was not a fall shut knife, and check it out now. Whew. And I can actually shake it down. I could not do that at all. I don't recall being able to do that at all, but you can literally feel the smoothness. Now, I did that on that knife, which I was pretty shocked. This is another one that didn't really drop that free. And of course you can't feel how smooth it is, but I'm just, you know, I have no reason to lie to you. It's just nice and smooth. This one I never could drop down. It's just too light of a blade. But look at that. Very, very nice. And then the smoothness is just, it's hydraulic feeling. Then I took my para, because I can get right up in there. Oh, that didn't want to focus. Let's see if I can make it focus. You can get right up there. You can even see the phosphor bronze washers, and I just put it on both sides of that. And this one was already smooth. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a smooth knife, but the level of smoothness, I mean, let's see if I can, look at this. The level of smoothness on this guy is just outrageously smooth. And those three knives, I didn't take them apart at all. I just put a drop of lube on there on both sides, worked it in and out, and voila, super smooth. And then the next knife was more of an experiment because this knife before, like I said, has the Chris Reeve fluorinated grease in there, and I didn't want to take it down. I wanted to see how well it worked with the fluorinated grease, because sometimes some lubes that I've used, when I mixed it with the fluorinated grease, it either got really gummy or it broke it down a good bit and worked for a little while and then kind of got a little gummy. Except nano oil works good with the, like I call it, cutting the grease. But with this stuff, I put a drop on both sides of that washer, on both sides of that, just literally a drop, because like they say with the nano lube, little is less is best. So this knife was, you know, already smooth, but it wasn't really a free dropper. Let's see if it even wants a free drop now. Oh, let's see, hold on. I mean, first of all, look at that. It's a free dropper now, and I think I can even spidey flick it. Look at that. And I can easily, watch, I can rocket it out now. I mean, I could thumb flick it before, but now it's like no effort whatsoever. It's amazing. Let's see if I can spidey flick it. Very, very nice. And so it definitely passed the initial smoothness test. I can say, as of right now, that the initial smoothness is smoother than the 10-weight nano oil. But the true test, will see how well it holds up with the nasty 100% humidity we have here in Louisiana and the heat. And I plan on these, not these, where's the other one? These three knives right here, being that I know how the action was on these knives with the nano lube for several months, if not years, with this one a year, and I don't know the other time, but I know how those last and how it feels, you know, over time. So I feel good about doing a comparison with these, you know, long-term use. So I'm going to carry these three for the next month, and, you know, rotating them in and out. And in that month, you know, each week I'm going to kind of see if anything's changed. And if this stuff holds up, if this stuff holds up and stays as smooth, I found my new favorite lube, especially for half the price. And their customer service was nice. I talked to them. I messaged them back and forth. Super nice people. I don't know if they have any other products. All I saw is this. You can check them out on Instagram. I'll leave a link to their Instagram page and a link to their store. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gaining anything off of this except trying to find you guys and girls some good quality lube at a cheaper price than my current favorite, the nano oil. So I'll still be using this regardless. along with, this. Sometimes, just like this, sometimes I found that certain different lubes work better for certain knives, depending on what type of action, depending on phosphor bronze or, say, a bearing pivot. And look, this is one that we can test out right now. I know it's already getting long. Let's see. This is the Kershaw Atmos. Got good action, but it's not really a fall shut action right now. I think it's got some grime in there because I was using this the other day outside, and see, it'll start to fall once I give it a little coasting. But let's see if this stuff helps it out any. If I can see, I'm gonna have to look behind the camera, and I'm gonna put a drop on this side of the bearings, flip it over, and put a drop on that side of the bearings. And let's see, I will work it in the pivot a little bit, just kind of get it on down there. You can also take a can of compressed air and just lightly do a little spray on both sides with compressed air just to force it into the bearings. I did that on this knife, and that worked really well, especially when the bearings, see how close the bearings are. You don't really have to do that with these, but whenever you can't get that close to the bearings, a nice little shot of compressed air will help you out to get it in there. And I mean, it won't hurt either way. Okay, we work it in there. Then I'm going to put a little drop on the detent ball. This could be hard to see since it's black. Let's see. Dang it. I can't see the detent ball at all. Feeling around for it. Okay, I think I hit it. Let's see if you can see the detent hole. That's another thing. Look, you can see the detent hole right here. Just put a little drop in that hole. That way it'll carry the lube. And that way I let it sit in the lube for a second. Do the action a few times. I already feel somewhat of a noticeable difference just because it was kind of gritty and grimy beforehand. Let's see if it helped it any to be a free dropper. Work it a little bit more. Let's check it out. Whew. Now it still needed a little bit of a, there you go. So, it either made it smoother or it knocked the grit, knocked the grit away. But either way, this knife is smoother. This is a smooth knife anyway, especially for how light the blade is. They got the detent dialed in good on this guy, but man, oh man, do yourself a favor and pick you up a bottle of this. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Like I said, I just haven't had enough time to be able to give you a more definitive answer on how well it holds up in the long run. They're a very new company. I think they only have like 200 or so followers on Instagram, so just fresh out of the gate. It's always cool to find new products, test them out, and the biggest thing is I want to find good products that I can recommend that I know will do you well. So let me know if you have some of this KPL grease and what you think about it. If you have any longer term experience, like I said, I don't know how long this stuff's been out. I wish I would have found out about it earlier if it has been out, because it's pretty exciting. And let me know if there's any other, testing or anything that you want me to try to do. It's kind of hard because you can't, over the camera, you can't tell how smooth something is. You can't feel how smooth it is. I mean, I can show you how well it drops free, and like this one right here, it was smooth before, but it's just, there's something to it. It's just got that, I don't know, just a real slick feeling, that initial. But I mean, a lot of lube, that the initial feeling you get is nice and slick. I mean, Nano Lube's kind of like that too. So it's just going to depend on how long that smoothness stays. because the 5 weight, you know, is pretty slick, but that's really thin lube, so it doesn't stick around as long as the 10 weight and 85 weight. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, if it holds up, if it lasts even half as long, I'll be happy. It's just, let's watch. I want to show you real quick before I let y'all go. I think it got this one nice and smooth too. I've been really enjoying this guy for, you know, the price point. Look at that. Ooh, man. Yeah, and this one is another one that I wasn't able to shake it down. It was just, it wouldn't go. And now with a little bit of wiggling, I can get it to go back to its home. All right, guys and girls. Like I said, let me know if there's anything that y'all would like me to do to test this. I don't really know too much other stuff I can do besides carrying it and telling y'all my long-term experience. You know, I'm gonna document that I have these 3 knives that I know, you know, that I put lube on. And let's see which knife. I took down one of the knives completely, but it's not on the table that I can that I'll be carrying as well. But this is a good start, especially not having to take the knives apart. Some people, you know, don't feel like they have the capabilities to take a knife apart without ruining it, and they want to lube their knives up, and you know, they want a good lube. And so far, this one's fitting the bill. All right, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.